Experience the drama and joy of live music all this week here on BBC4, with the phenomenal voices competing now in round 2 of BBC Cardiff Singer of the World 2021.
Last night, we all learnt how different the competition would be without an audience in St David's Hall. Not that that stopped our singers offering their best. And at the end of the night, Georgian mezzo-soprano Natalia Kutateladze was victorious. Tonight, 4 more voices, each on a quest for a place in the final of BBC Cardiff Singer of the World 2021.
Welcome back to St David's Hall. It's strange not having an audience all around us, but the hall has lost none of its warmth. In fact, it feels even more intimate than normal. And the singers are well aware you're cheering them on in homes across the UK and around the world. If you were with us yesterday, you have already enjoyed some operatic gems. Congratulations again to Georgia's Natalia Kutateladze, last night's winner, guaranteed a place in Saturday night's grand final.
Before we get there, I can promise you lots of fine singing and high drama. If you missed last night's concert, you can catch it on BBC iPlayer. Do also check out our website, bbc.co.uk/Cardiff Singer, where you'll find clips from those performances along with lots more information about the competition. So tonight, another array of international talent. Singers standing by from Denmark, South Korea, South Africa, as well as a singer from the nation that provides the home for this great competition. Will Wales enjoy victory this evening?
Yes, 4 talented singers from across the world tonight singing to the world. Above all, they'll be hoping to catch the attention of our formidable panel of jurors. Let's remind ourselves who they are.
From Wales, Neil Davies is an acclaimed bass baritone who divides his career between opera and recital. He was the winner of this song prize here back in 1991.
I hope they can treat this competition as if it's a performance. It will be different this year, not having an audience in the hall, but I hope we will be a nice, friendly, supportive jury and really wish them well.
Roberta Alexander, the American lyric soprano, whose career has taken her from New York's Met to La Scala and Covent Garden.
There's nothing that I could tell them that they don't already know. Just enjoy it, be yourself, and make the music.
And chairing the judging panel for the first time this year, Aidan Lang. After running Seattle and New Zealand Opera, he's now General Director of Welsh National Opera.
To all the singers, I would say, remember it's about communication. Finding the sort of centre of that piece and being the channel from the composer to the audience is what it's ultimately about. And that is what will, I think, guide you through the competition.
And I'm delighted to be joined now by a first-time Cardiff Singer jury member, herself a successful soprano who has graced opera halls around the world. Roberta Alexander, welcome.
Thank you.
Now, I know you're a long-time follower of. What's it like being on the jury?
Oh, it's great. It's really, really wonderful. Yes, a long-cherished desire to be here and be a part of it.
Well, you're very welcome. I noticed as you took to the stage, you applauded the orchestra, reduced in size but not in strength, getting slightly different repertoire, doesn't it? What are you looking forward to hearing?
I'm looking forward to hearing anything that's live. I'm not picky.
Not the time to be choosy, is it? Well, we've got some wonderful gems in store this evening and across the week. I just wanted to ask you, we had more applicants for the competition this time than ever before. In fact, almost twice as many. What do you think that says, first of all, about the year we've had, but also what do you think it might mean for the competition?
Yes. Yeah, I think, obviously, we will not be deterred.
We will not be deterred. Well said. I'll get that on a T-shirt.
Okay.
Thank you, Roberta.
Welcome.
What a great message from Roberta. Of course, tonight's performers are old friends, the BBC National Orchestra of Wales. Conducting this evening, Andrew Litton. He'll be joining them on stage shortly with our first competitor. Also with us tonight, the Welsh tenor Geoffrey Lloyd Roberts. Geoffrey, you've been in rehearsals all night. You came out about an hour and a half ago with a huge smile on your face.
It has been the most enormous pleasure, look, to see, but to hear this incredible talent that everybody's going to hear this evening. Quite wonderful after a relative famine of not hearing anything to have this amazing orchestra and to celebrate these young singers.
And I get the impression from what you were saying, there is no clear winner this evening. It could be any.
It's a very, very strong rating, and I just wish them Godspeed because they could put a cigarette paper between any of them.
Geoffrey, thank you very much. We'll be hearing lots from you as the evening progresses. Worth saying that 3 of them are also competing in the Song Prize competition that's being broadcast on Radio 3. Coverage starts tomorrow lunchtime at 1 o'clock. Now, though, let's get going and meet the quartet of singers we're going to hear from this evening. Representing Wales, soprano Sarah Gilford. From South Korea, baritone Gihoon Kim. Masabane Cecilia Rangwanasha, a soprano from South Africa. And singing first in this second round...
Hi, my name is Nikolai Elsberg. I'm a bass from Denmark.
Nun scheint in vollem Glanz der Himmel.
What I love about opera is the amazing emotional universes that are much more extreme than in our daily lives, but also therefore so freeing to step into as a singer, but also as an audience. So having that as a job is just amazing, I think.
Nikolai begins with Haydn's oratorio, The Creation, the angel Raphael describing God making the animals. But one thing is missing, a creature who can praise its maker's goodness.
Gleich öffnet sich der Erde Schoß und sie gebiert auf Gottes Wort, Geschöpfe jeder Art, in vollem Wuchs und ohne Zahl. Vor Freude brüllend steht der Löwe da. Hier schießt der gelenkige Tiger empor. Das zacke Haupt erhebt der schnelle Hirsch. Mit fliegender Mähne springt und wird voll Mut und Kraft das edle Ross. Auf grünen Matten weidet schon das Rind in Herden abgeteilt. als sie gesät das vollenreiche, sanfte Schaf. Wie Staub verbreitet sich in Schwarm und Wirbel das Heer der Insekten. Schwellt der Fische Gewimmel, den Boden drückt der Zederlast, den Boden drückt der Zederlast. Doch war noch alles nicht vollbracht, doch war noch alles nicht vollbracht. Im Ganzen fehlte das Geschöpf, das Gottes Werke dankbar sind. Das Herren Güte preisen soll. Doch war noch alles nicht vollbracht, dem Ganzen fehlte das Geschöpf, das Gottes Werke dankbar sind. Das Herren Güte preisen soll. Das Gottes Werke dankbar sind, das Herren Güte preisen soll, des Herren Güte preisen soll. Des Herren Güte, des Herren Güte preisen soll.
Haydn's creation, Haydn inspired by the Handel oratorios that he heard on visits to London. Mozart's abduction from the Seraglio next. This is a bit bloodthirsty. Osmin has caught Belmonte and Pedrillo as they attempted to save their lovers. Now he gloats about how he will punish them with death.
schnüren zu. Und die Hälse schnüren zu, schnüren zu. Schnüren zu. Und die Hälse schnüren zu, schnüren zu. Hüpfen will ich, lachen, springen und ein Freudenliedchen singen, denn nun hab ich euch roh. Denn nun hab ich euch roh. Oh, wie will ich triumphieren, kann sie jagt dich Platz führen, und die Hälse schnüren zu, schnüren zu, und die Hälse schnüren zu, schnüren zu, schleicht nur säuberlich und leise, ihr verdammten Haremsmäuse, unser Ort entdeckt euch schon, und der ihr uns könnt entspringen, zieht ihr euch in unseren Schlingen, und erhaschet einen Lohn, und schleicht nur säuberlich und leise, ihr verdammten Haremsmäuse, unser Ort entdeckt euch, entdeckt euch, entdeckt euch. Oh, wie will ich triumphieren, kann sie ja zum Lichtplatz führen, und die Hälse schnüren zu, schnüren zu, und die Hälse schnüren zu, schnüren zu. Hüpfen will ich, lachen, springen und ein Freudenliedchen triumphieren, kann sie jagt nicht hat fühlen, und die Hälse schnüren zu, schnüren zu, schnüren zu, schnüren, schnüren, schnüren zu, schnüren, 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 schnüren zu, und die Hälse schnüren zu, und die Hälse schnüren zu, schnüren zu, schnüren zu, schnüren, schnüren, schnüren zu, schnüren, 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 schnüren zu, und die Hälse schnüren zu, und die Hälse schnüren zu, und die Hälse schnüren zu, schnüren zu, schnüren zu.
And to finish, Nikolai Elsberg swaps the opera house for the church, a prayer for mercy from Verdi's setting of the Requiem Mass.
Confutatis maletis, flammis acribus addictis. Confutatis mana flammis acribus
Conjuring up an image of the Day of Judgment, Confutatis Maledictus, bringing Danish Elsberg's performance to a dramatic conclusion. Verdi's Requiem once described as being an opera in ecclesiastical robes. Geoffrey Lloyd Roberts is with us this evening here in St David's Hall. Let's talk about that performance. Let's start with Osmin and those low Ds.
Yes, absolutely. Well, how wonderful he put this aria in, bookended by two fabulous arias from oratorios. So this proved a kind of sorbet in the middle of it, which was great. It's a very exposed aria because of that low D, not because of the height of it. This is a beautiful lyric bass voice. He will come into his own in about 20 years, if I'm quite honest, and maybe shown us in that Verdi a forward-looking prospect to what could come. I thought he sang the Haydn beautifully, almost like a lieder, a piece of German song. And bravo to him. It's an elegant performer and an elegant voice.
And very interesting to hear oratorio and then the Verdi Requiem, to hear a singer performing in a different world away from the opera stage.
Yes, quite right. I think it gives one a chance to perform in a very different way. You are governed by a character, of course, in any opera you do. You get to give a more personal point of view in the oratorios. You are a narrator, so you can decide to narrate this in any way you possibly want. I thought it was a very, very fine programme and actually a very exciting voice.
Geoffrey, thank you very much indeed. Very good to have you with us
You're welcome.
this evening. Of course, your thoughts very welcome too. Share them with us on Twitter or on Facebook using the hashtag Cardiff Singer.
Such a great performance to open this evening with. Before Nikolai discovered his classical voice, he actually toured a Danish rock band. Talented fellow. Next to perform in this second round of BBC Cardiff Singer of the World is this year's home contender from Wales. This is normally the moment when red dragon flags appear all around the hall and the singer is a warm welcome from the Cardiff audience. A little different this year, but for 29-year-old soprano Sarah Gilford, performing here in her hometown tonight will undoubtedly still be a very special experience.
Shemai, my name is Sarah Gilford. I'm a soprano and I'll be representing Wales. This really is a dream come true for me. I'm just so excited to represent my country and get on that stage. Really good job. I feel I owe a lot to Welsh culture because you really start learning music and performing and singing from a really early age. This is a really big moment in my career, and I really plan on enjoying myself as well as hopefully moving people with my performance.
We start with Mozart's Idomeneo, taken off to Crete by the victorious Greeks after the Trojan War. Princess Ilia misses her homeland and struggles with her feelings for Prince Idomeneo. You remember Roberta Alexander, well known for her Mozart roles, including Electra, Ilya's jealous rival. Next from Sarah, 2 excerpts from Handel's Theodora. A Christian martyr imprisoned for her faith pleads for an end to her suffering. Then the mood changes as she thinks of the afterlife, and fear gives way to hope.
Oh, thou bright sun, how sweet thy rays to health and liberty! But here, alas, they swell the agonizing thought of shame, and pierce my soul with sorrows yet unknown. With darkness deep as is my woe, hide me, shades of night, hide me. Your thickest veil around me throw, concealed from human sight. Your thickest veil around me throw, concealed from sight, concealed from sight, concealed from human sight. Oh, come, thou death, thy victim save. Oh, come, thou death, thy victim save. Kindly, kindly, embosomed in the grave, embosomed in the grave. But why art thou disquieting my soul? Hark! Heaven invite thee in sweet rapture strains to join the ever-singing, ever-loving choir of saints and angels in the courts above. forever blessed with harmony and love, that I might rest forever blessed with harmony and love, that I might rest forever blessed with harmony and love, with harmony and love, that I on wings could rise, swiftly, swiftly, swiftly sailing. Oh, that I on wings could rise, swiftly sailing through the skies. Oh, that I on wings could rise, swiftly sailing through the skies. The skies of silver dawn, swiftly sailing through the skies. As schemes the
And from Handel, Sarah offers us Gounod to finish, transporting us to 19th century Provence. As she picks mulberry leaves, Mireille sends a message of love to her paramour on the wings of a swallow.
Messager of fidèle
Sarah Gilford, 29 years old from Cardiff, carrying the hopes of the nation of Wales with her this evening. And normally, Geoffrey, there would be red dragon flags flying from the balcony, loud cheers. I mean, it's basically us, the orchestra, doing a fantastic job applauding. We've got 10 or 12 volunteers from the competition. Yeah. Good noise, but didn't she do well?
Well, let me just say, first of all, that actually in this hall, you can cut the atmosphere with a knife. Regardless of whether there's an audience here or not, it is electric in here. This young lady is a fantastic singer. I will say that now. When she came out this afternoon, my heart was full of pride and a huge smile came on my face. She has total command of her instrument, which is a beautiful, light lyric voice. She has very cleverly chosen a programme that she could go and sing anywhere in the world now. I don't know if she knew that on the judging panel would be two of the finest Handel and Mozart singers ever to grace the lyric stage when she chose the programme. But I'm sure they would be delighted with her.
And it's very interesting because there are two ways of doing this, aren't there? You can present stuff you might do in 10 or 15 or 20 years' time, or you can do stuff that you're absolutely right for now. And the Handel was a perfect example of that. She can go out there and do that now.
Yes, she certainly can. What this girl has as well at her fingertips is an incredible musicianship. It pours out of her because she has technical demand of her instrument. She is able to make great colours. The Handel, of course, was absolutely exquisite and sung in English. We have to get every word. But not only did we get every word, we had the emotional intent behind it.
Great thoughts as ever, Geoffrey. Thank you very much for now.
You're welcome.
Well done to Cardiff's finest, Sarah Gilford. Remember, you'll have a chance to vote for your favourite performance in the round in this year's Dame Joan Sutherland Audience Prize. So keep a note of your favourites and be sure to join us on Wednesday when we'll be giving you details of how to vote. Now, so far this evening, we've already gone from the lowest to the highest of voices, bass to soprano. But this year's competition is particularly blessed with some fantastic baritones. A total of 4, in fact, performing across the week, including our next singer from South Korea.
Hello, my name is Gihoon Kim, and I'm from South Korea, and I'm a baritone. My family usually singing at the car, and the music is K-pop, no opera, unfortunately. My parents thought you sing very well, but the react was very negative. And then I bring some prize, and then my teacher and my parents, now we proud of you. My favorite composer is Puccini, but I hate him because there's no aria for baritone.
So, Gihoon Kim takes his place now with the BBC National Orchestra of Wales, led by Leslie Hatfield, who's chosen a catalogue aria to begin from Mozart's Così fan tutte. Guglielmo testing the fidelity of Fiordiligi and Dorabella with a seductive list of manly attributes.
Rivolgete a lui lo sguardo e vedrete come sta. Tutto dice, io gelo, io ardo, fido e mio pietà, pietà. Io ardo, io gelo, io ardo, fido e mio pietà, pietà. E voi cara un sol momento vicini a me volgete e mi ritroverete quel che l'ambrodi non sa. Orlando innamorato non è niente, non è mio confronto. Un d'oro mi senti agato, verso lui per nulla io conto. Son di fuoco i miei sospiri, son di bronzo i suoi desiri. Se si parla poi di merito, scelto e sodo ed egli è certo che gli uguali non si trovano tra Vienna e Canada. Se si parla poi di merito, certo e sodo ed egli è certo che gli uguali non si trovano tra Vienna e Canada. Da Vienna e Canada, da Vienna e Canada. Siam due cresi per ricchezza, due narcisi per bellezza, in amor rivar cantoni, verso noi sarian buffoni, verso noi sarian buffoni, verso noi sarian buffoni. Siam più forti dolci gliodo, letterati ai par di scopo, letterati ai par di scopo. Se bagliamo un picnic cede, si gentile snello il piede. Se capitale abbiam poi che con non sa. Bella, bella, tengo solo, se ne vanno, se ne vanno, se ne vanno, ed io ricordo, ed io ricordo, ed io ricordo. Eroina di Costanza, specchi son di fedeltà. Sì, eroina di Costanza, specchi son di fedeltà. Specchi son di fedeltà. Eroine di Costanza, specchi son di fedeltà. Specchi son di fedeltà. Specchi son di fedeltà. Di fedeltà, di fedeltà, di fedeltà.
Now, good to have some 20th century opera next. This was premiered just over a century ago in December 1920. Korngold's Die Tote Stadt, the Dead City, in which Fritz dreams of the past in the Pierrot song.
Stroi
And it's Leon Cavallo's Pagliacci to finish. Tonio warning the audience that what they're going to get is a lesson in truth, life as it really is. No play acting here.
Si può, signore, signori, scusatemi se da sol mi presento, io sono il parte vuol riprendere le vecchie usanze e a voi di nuovo inviami, ma non per dirvi come pria le lacrime che noi versiam son taise degli spasimi e dei nostri martiri, non allarmatevi. No, l'autore ha cercato invece di fingervi uno squarcio di vita. Egli per massima sol che l'artista un uom e che per gli uomini scriverei Unido letto vi dissi. Ora ascoltate, o meglio ascolto. Andiamo,
A message of absolute truth there from Gihoon Kim, one of two competitors representing South Korea in this year's competition, the 29-year-old baritone. And Geoffrey, there was a moment there during the corn goal where you and I caught each other's eyes, and it was just, wow.
It was miraculous. This is a phenomenal vocal instrument. It is a phenomenal talent and a phenomenal musician to back it up. That was very, very exceptional singing. The corn gold is very high-lying. He did it with huge, masterful grace. It was incredibly special, and I just feel very honoured and moved to have witnessed it.
A word about the Mozart that he started with, which isn't often heard in the opera itself. It's dropped normally these days.
That's right. It is normally dropped, and it's a concert aria and replaced forget. But to pull an astoundingly safe top E, which seems to be right almost in the middle of this gentleman's voice. As I say, it's a high-lying voice, great excitement. It manages to be voluptuous, yet have an incredible bite on it. Fabulous.
Well, I think I saw tears from Roberta and Neil, an extraordinary voice and a very moving performance as well. Thank you for now, Geoffrey.
You're so welcome.
Now, as you can imagine, Cardiff Singer is always a challenge of logistics and planning, but this has been a year like no other. We have singers from as far afield as Mongolia and South Korea. For example, Gihoon, who you just heard, was in transit for more than 20 hours. And travel restrictions also meant that most of the singers had to quarantine when they arrived here in the UK. So lots of practicing in hotel rooms and lots of video calls, all very different to the usual pre-competition routine. It's been a mammoth effort all round, and we're so thrilled to have all these wonderful singers here in Cardiff. Bringing tonight's performances to a close, our second soprano of the evening, this time from South Africa.
Dumelang, good evening. My name is Masabani Cecilia Rangwanasha, and I am from South Africa. I'm a soprano. When I finished my matric, I wanted to become a lawyer. My mom, when she heard me sing, she always said to me, "It looks like you really love it. Why don't you go study it?" And I'm so happy that she really encouraged me to do opera instead of law. Not to say anything about law, though.
Well, Masabane grew up in South Africa's Limpopo province, which has borders with Botswana, Zimbabwe and Mozambique. She started singing at a young age in her local church, and she's going to start today with an aria from Mendelssohn's Elijah.
Speaketh, oh,
We journey next to the Austrian Tyrol in an aria from Catalani's La Valley. Faced with a marriage forced upon her by her father, Valley leaves home and heads for the mountains. Well, now, opera is littered with young women thwarted in love by a disapproving father. And another to finish, Leonora from Verdi's Force of Destiny, singing of her love for both God and Alvaro, the man she's been parted from. Well, you really do want tumultuous applause after a performance like that, don't you? Not the rather polite applause the few of us here in St David's Hall can muster. Closing tonight's concert, South Africa's Masabane Cecilia Rangwanasha. So, we've heard all four of the round two singers, and the judges now retire to make their deliberations. I think they're going to have some difficult choices to make. While they do that, Geoffrey Lloyd-Roberts is here. Catalani's La Valley, seldom staged because you have to stage an avalanche if you're going to put on the whole opera. That aria is very famous, but she reinvented it for me this evening.
She did, with an avalanche of emotions, let me tell you that. What a legato this young lady has. It is phenomenal, that legato. She sings from within the very inside of her and shows us her soul. It is an honesty to her singing that is refreshing in this kind of arena with a competition under those nerves. A fantastic singer.
She's talked about how she started singing in church in South Africa. The honesty of Elijah was racing, wasn't it?
It really was. 3 massive arias, all stand alone as big potboiler arias. It was a brave programme to do, and she pulled it off. This young lady is one of the youngest in the competition, below the average age of 29. She's 27. She has the most incredible international career awaiting her.
I have one last question for you. Who is your choice of winner? And I know this is not going to be
Don't do this
easy.
to me, Petrock. I will say, put my name and colours to the mast, that Gihoon will be made the winner. But don't be surprised if you see Sarah and this young lady, Masabane, in the final as well.
It's been glorious having you with us tonight. Geoffrey, thank you very much indeed.
What an honour.
Wow. Well, it's been an evening of musical riches, I'm sure you'll agree, and I definitely don't envy the judges choosing between tonight's singers. Before we get their verdict, let's just have a reminder of this evening's outstanding performances.
Nikolai Elsberg from Denmark. Representing Wales, Sarah Gilford. From South Korea, Gihoon Kim. And Masabane Cecilia Rangwanasha from South Africa. Well, absolutely no doubt we have enjoyed another evening of superb music making here at St David's Hall. Will be one winner. One of those tasked with making that difficult, I might say daunting decision is the American Alexander. Did you come to a speedy decision, or was there much debate?
Not too much debate, but it was extremely difficult. We were talking about that, about it being really hard, really hard, really hard.
It's never going to be easy being on the Cardiff Singer of the World jury. Let's have the winner of tonight's round two.
Okay. And the winner of tonight's round is Gihoon Kim of the Republic of Korea.
The trophy is yours, Gihoon. The trophy is yours.
Thank you.
Gihoon, you look certainly surprised, are you?
Oh, how can I say? Oh, just unbelievable. Oh.
You're absolutely speechless as your singing left us all. Thank you very much, Gihoon, representing South Korea in the grand final. Petrok.
Thank you very much, Josie. Thank you for joining us for another night of fine singing. Lots still to look forward to. Round 3 tomorrow night at 7:30 on BBC 2 Wales and at 10 o'clock on BBC 4, when we will meet our second contender from South Korea and singers from Russia, Austria and the United States. Only a shame Joe Biden isn't still here to cheer on the American contender. Until tomorrow, good night from all of us here at St David's Hall. Nostar.
Oh my God. Thank you, everybody.